Hello. Alright, I'm playing with a very small screen size, window size. I don't like it, but I don't think it'll hurt for me to get used to it because when you're multi-tabling, you know, you try to you'd like to be able to stick a whole bunch of little tables on one big screen, so this is as small as I can make the window. That'll be a smaller file size, and I'm supposedly recording at max quality now, so you should be able to see it exactly as I do. Everything's legible, just barely. This little 5x3 font next to the sit out next hand. That's tiny. Huh. There'll be some overlap in my stats. That's no good. I don't know if it's an easy fix. I think the fixed sys font is about the most legible small font you can get, but that's a 9-point font, and it's obviously too big for this window size. Since I used the colors anyway, mostly, yeah, it shouldn't matter. I should be able to figure that out just fine. And my commentary so far, I'm not thrilled with the topics I've chosen. They're fine and satisfactory topics, but I want but talking about topics that I already know about is not going to help me. I want to talk about stuff I don't know about yet. So to that end, see, I consider the analysis I've done is almost just a, one level deep analysis, and I'd like to take it to the next order of depth. Yeah, there's a flop. There's straight draws and flush draws. It's after midnight now, midnight 30. The play's going to start tightening up. There's the toughest players on about 4 o'clock in the morning. This is Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That's I don't even know. If it was standard time, it'd be Greenwich Mean -5. Frankly, I don't remember. I don't remember if daylight savings time is -5 or plus or -1. I don't much care anyway. Yeah, I think all the stats will be readable. It's over here with his 33. I can see over half of the hidden 3, so if I can tell 3s from 8s, and 0s, there shouldn't be much of a problem. There's a pretty large bet on the end. This means he may not be playing it safe. Alright, about guy's sitting out. I do need to clearly say that I give the odds just very slightly in favor of they are completely alert and for all intents and purposes not sitting out. And I don't think there's any big computer bot conspiracy out there. But I mentioned it last time I was sitting out just because if I was going to make a bot and didn't want people to know it's a bot, I'd make them sit out every once in a while. You know, don't think the common man suspects a robot of sitting out. And I didn't mean to be offensive when I said common man. I do believe there are common women also. I'm not a bot conspiracist, but I am a collusion conspiracist. And particularly this type of tourney structure is going to attract a lot of colluders. That was a misclick. I accidentally clicked fold instead of call. It does indicate that Pawn Shark may actually be sitting out. It was a misclick, but I don't mind calling offsuit 2-gappers, and it's not even real 2-gapper because a King 10 makes less straights. then a 10-7. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. My only factual point there is that I don't mind folding it. I have kings, I have to fold to aces. You see, that's an automatic response. That's a good thought to develop. And because even if that thought always occurs to you, you still won't always do it. That puts a damper on it because if he has aces, he won't necessarily re-raise right now, which that's fine. I believe I put them all in because I don't put them on a set. I don't think he has 2s, 5s, or 6s, or the straight. When there's a raise and a re-raise, your jacks are no good. Don't play like that. I see Wilson's talk there. That's one of my pet peeves. Is that ZZ? I shouldn't even tell you that. So when you're playing on me, you're just gonna go zzz all the time. Get on my nerves. It doesn't. I probably quit picking fights over it after 3 years or something. I mean, I sure hope I'm used to it by now. Anyway, so he lost a hand, so he's impatient to go broke now. That's the truth of it. What's that? He bets 500 into a $90 pot. Oh, let's see if he'll play against me. I have aces. I assume I'm the best right now. I was almost tempted to overbet the pot because when I had kings, I made the standard bet like now. I need to follow up. And there is a flush draw. And I'm a chip leader. See, I'm not playing it safe, is what I'm saying. Making a note that that both of those guys are loose callers, probably. Wilson's a guarantee. I mean, but we don't know what Sassy my frass had. But whether or not they know it know that I'm super tight. I'm still playing like I'm super tight. I mean, I am playing super tight right now. I raised with aces and I raised with kings. So I still expect the other players to behave as if I was a super tight player. Because I am. So I don't like loose callers. If my stats were showing that I was playing super tight, if we had already played 100 hands and they only saw that I had aces and only saw that I had kings and only saw that I had a 3% pre-flop raise percentage or something like that, they'd be folding this crap rather than making loose calls. We all know you need a stronger hand to call than to raise with. I mean, that's when people start folding a 10-7 suited, is when they know you have them beat. So I don't like it when people call me. But, I mean, let's pretend we were enlightened here. What we have to do is pretend we're them. What do they know? What could they know? What might they know about me? They see, I gotta put my cursor over there at these stats. They know I've seen 15% voluntarily put money into 15% of the flops. That's around semi-tight. But it's certainly not very tight. And in a lot of ordinary sit and goes, even playing super tight, you can end up with a 15% stat just because there's some probability in your favor that you got more playable hands in such a short sample as a single sit and go. So, but they don't know I'm super tight. And also the 14% pre-flop raise. That's a loose raiser. As we can see, I have the highest pre-flop raise stat at this table. I am the loosest raiser. That's what they might know about me. Even, you know, if they don't have their own stats to keep track for them, since it is the fact that I've raised more often than anybody else at the table. So even by informal observation, they might have picked up on that. That's something I hadn't talked about yet. What's one of the things I'm sitting here trying to notice? It's a multi-way pot, one pair. Fuck it. One of the things I'm trying to notice is who the bad players are. I think that's fundamentally important because I do believe somebody has a 7. I can believe somebody has a 7. Ain't me. I think it's fundamental to identify who the weak players are, because if there are no weak players, you might lose. If there are, there's a friendly saying that emphasizes that. If you don't know who the suckers are, then you're the sucker. That's often true. So I'm sitting here looking for suckers. That's when you'll get me talking. Such as in my last video when I went off on that almost maniac chick. Talked about her the whole game. It's because she was the juiciest player. I think she was the biggest sucker. So hopefully that's one example of taking it to the higher level. You know, people are giving away all kinds of tells here on how they're betting and playing and stuff, and I'm not paying any attention to it. That's not what I'm interested in. I don't need to know how to play poker against these people. For one point, in general, I already do know how to play poker against them. Just not specifically yet. You know, how do I play poker against Rusty? That was a Kevin Bacon looking picture. How sad is that? And he's one of the people I would want to know specifically because he's on the big blind I want to attack. I would ordinarily want to attack. But when I'm sitting here early in a tournament, I'm waiting for things to strike me about their play. See, if I'm consciously looking for stuff, I'm shutting off my subconscious. I mean, your subconscious is impossible to shut off, but if I'm not consciously looking for things, I think I open up my subconscious to even more. And so, you know, you can stick that in your psychological pipe and smoke it. Isn't it a little early to be going all in with sixes? You see, alright, and there I go again. It was early yet. Why do I need to know how Kevin, my big blind, is going to play when he's busting out the next hand? You know? He's not my big blind anymore. I didn't need to know shit about him. My eyes were just scanning over all his stats and I didn't see anything. I play. I got a little theory here. Whoops. I play. I know I said I had a little theory. I'm not sure I wanted to discuss it. How I was actually going to continue. Don't know if I'm ready to discuss it. Let me use my immense psychic powers and foresee the end of this hand. Now that I have done that, I intend to fold. That was me mocking everything. As soon as I saw the flop, I'm folding. The fact I got a pair of aces is completely irrelevant. See, it's a multi-way pot, and if somebody has a hand, somebody has a draw, how do I stop from losing 2,500 chips? There's no guarantee that I can keep the pot small. It's not likely I'll end up with the best hand. You know, you don't dick around with that kind of crap. Just folded crap. All right, I'll note minimum min raise. What is that? It's middle position. I would fold if I was Dembski. But I wouldn't have raised if I was Dimsky, so I don't. Yeah, if S Dimsky had Ace King, that's a good way to get rid of it. Take a stab at it. Doesn't work out, you fold. But it's probably giving him too much credit. Sorry, I snorted there. I don't know why. I make funny noises sometimes, and I don't care. If I didn't do stuff like make funny noises, I'd be a totally dull person. At least now you have a chance to laugh at my noises. Hope I remembered to hit the record button. Yeah, it looks like I did. I noticed that was a big bet. Once again, Sassy's not careful. And neither is Klaber. There was a straight out there when he made that big bet. I suppose I should talk the truth. Non-safe means dangerous. That means it means I'm scared of him. I would tend not to say that because I don't want to tell people what I'm scared of. But the truth is the truth. It's a paired flop. I called that standard before. I should not say standard because people use standard often enough that there is no standard. Isn't that split? Oh, okay, nope. You'll notice I don't even trust PokerStars to give me a split pot. If you're gonna play poker or do any kind of gambling, you're gonna deal with shady people, including shady business owners. It's proper to be suspicious. Should always be suspicious. If you're curious, I don't even remember what I folded. Just like I'm waiting for some of their plays to suddenly enter my mind. I'm also waiting for some cards to suddenly enter my mind. See, that's the first level play. You know, if it's first level play, I say, oh, I'm going to fold my queen deuce. Screw that. I don't need to talk about that crap. You can find that kind of talk anywhere. Especially considering, you know, there's cases where I will play a queen deuce. So I'm saying that whatever you say about a queen deuce, whether you're going to race with it, whether you're going to fold with it, there's no truth to it. A couple of snowmen entered my mind. I'm not betting out. I did say that before the flop. Fucking Sassy hasn't learned his lesson yet. Well, one of the things that pisses me off about the situation was I had them both out chipped also. At any given 10-player table, it's likely I'm the tightest player. When the tightest player is also the chip leader, you don't sit there and fucking call him.
And if you save yourself, you will make him happy.
It's a good time to mention that I have my infinitely aggressive stat. Poor fucking Sassy, getting what's coming to him. So far, Sassy's a little more aggressive than that last loose, almost maniac. But Sassy's so much worse. And see, Sassy's not even close to being a maniac. Sassy is a donk. I was thinking I need to develop more player profiles. See, the traditional player profile. One of them is the calling station. I believe in calling stations. That's a term that I use to describe people. They're not too common in No Limit Hold'em, but that's a term that's been around for a long time. So that's a very well developed character type. I believe a maniac's a slightly newer term. A maniac is loose aggressive with the qualification that that they're also poor players. I need to develop something to call the good loose aggressive players. I hope Sassy Frass is sitting out because, well, I'm going to go broke. That ain't going to happen. Might be, that might be the sitting out ploy. I just noticed my audio is stuttering a little bit for the game sounds. It has to be because I'm running this capture program. It's unfortunate and it shouldn't be happening, but nothing to do about that. I don't think I have anything else heavy running. Oh. Alright, if that stutter happened when Poker Tracker was importing the hands, I can understand it. But I mean, that's two programs that are accessing the same hard drive. Poker Tracker and a capture program. It's occurring to me that Hat-Trick is folding to me like he should. So that probably means I'm giving him a little bit more respect than I should. I was thinking that we'd find out in that hand. I'm betting into a large guy. You know I don't like to do that. I can't steal the blinds here because Sassy will fucking call anything. He has a good nickname. He is an ass. It's because the queen 10 would have been a semi bluff. It would have been what I'm terming a semi steal. And he's going to pay me off when I get a hand. So I want to play good cards, not semi cards. I just started trying to read way too much into Sassy My Frass's 1.6 aggression factor. I decided to stop before I define him to be something that he's not. And I have to very badly go to the bathroom, but I'm not going to. I can suffer for 45 minutes or however long it takes. That was a Marine. I'll act like it. I'll try one play though and unbutton my top button. Give a little room for the bladder to breathe. Oh, I think it fails to you have to urinate. I don't think unbuttoning the top button will help because what that does is it lets the bladder expand and almost needs to make it be worse. But I'm gassy and have to poop too, so that's why I did it. So it's for the intestines, not for the bladder. I do feel justified talking about that because that's a big part of poker play. If you miss a hand for any reason, you're hurting your chances to win. And you know, in poker in general, we're talking about a very small edge, you know. If you're into playing 10 player sit and goes, where there's only one winner, let's say, you might be hoping to win 1 out of 9 tournaments, just a very, very small edge. You know, that's making a profit off of 11% better odds. So if you miss the 11% of your hands, your huge skill edge is completely eliminated. And to restate, I did just say 11%. Being 11% better than average is significant. It is. If you're 1% better, you can make a profit. Under the right circumstances, that doesn't account for the rake and for these tournaments, buy-in fees. The buy-in fees generally account for 5%. So right off the bat, you have to be 5% better than average. So there again, if you miss 5% of your hands, you're not expecting to win anything. Min raise, he did that before, so that's likely a sign that he doesn't have aces, but not necessarily. It's again, it's early position, so so even if he doesn't have aces, it still doesn't mean he doesn't have 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, you know. And never forget about ace king. Ace king's a hard hand to play. What is the right way to play ace king? There's an unlimited number of answers to that question. So in practice, you can play ace king any damn way you please. And we do. He's also the chip leader. He's allowed to raise with crap. Not that I'm saying straight up crap, you know, but an ace jack would be below my turns there. An ace 10 suited. That's what you can call good crap. It's still crap, but it's a lot better than ordinary crap. It's a hell of a lot better than ordinary crap. I'm wondering about hat trick and if I keep the pot small if he raises. See, in this case, I do not respect the min raise. Might have tried to bully him because I have more chips. I got to worry about an ace jack. And the guy in last position could have threes. I need to dare to put them all in. All right. What's he got? He's got 18. I need at least 600 pot size. Let's go 750. My heart's beating incredibly fast. I didn't zone out there. I wasn't under severe stress. It was only mild stress. My hands are shaking. You know, a lot of people still haven't figured out what the hands are shaking tell is all about. When your hands are shaking, you're under stress. But in general, it becomes more of a tell after the hand. You know, if you're playing live, what's really cool is, you know, if you bet into somebody really big, and the guy re-raises and you just don't know, you have such a good hand, how can you fold? But you decide you have to fold. If after you fold, you look over and his hands are shaking, that's when you know you made the right fold. It's release of tension, besides just nerves. That's what I'm saying about it becoming worse. It can be a sign of nerves, but most often the hand shaking is the release of tension after the fact. See, but that tension can be there for some people just because in some way the tension was waiting for good cards, for waiting for a good hand, and now all of a sudden you got a good hand. I mean, so there, that was the release of the tension. You were tense while you were waiting, so you experience the release of tension occasionally. That's not good players though, so I wouldn't talk about that. The good players completely are almost always have developed skills to prevent their hands from shaking. I've mentioned my favorite one is forgetting what cards I have. It's been times when I'm playing live and I look down. I mean, you know, it's been around to me, and I look down and it's like, well, I don't know. I have to look at my cards, and then you know, I'm sitting there like, well, holy shit, I got a full house. You know, I didn't even know what I had, so how the hell are they going to read me? I think Kleber might get greedy. I wonder if I have to call. I'm just talking about a call. A lot of players would show the ace-10 there to prevent people from stealing. But again, that goes against the poker theory, and tournament theory. In order for people to be eliminated, people need to be in their betting way too often. I want to encourage them to bet so that they're eliminated eventually. If nobody bets, it's going to be a hell of a long time before anybody's eliminated. That's how it goes against tournament theory. Going against poker theory, that would be I want him to bet into me. I want him to bluff into me, so that if I have a hand, I can re-raise him and get them all in. Yeah, it's also poker theory true-wise. Once I'm short stacked, I really don't like people stealing my blinds, but everything else being equal, like equal stack sizes, I'd prefer people to be betting into me. Something like that. A lot of chip leaders would call in a heartbeat because I have over 3,000 chips. I can afford to call, in theory, and just hope I flop something and eliminate him. Sassafras. There goes his ass. I hadn't noticed him recently, so he must have shaped up his plan, but just for the record again, Ace King isn't a hand you want to go all in with, and especially if you miss the fucking flop. I mean, top pair, top kicker isn't a hand you want to go in with, which you don't know if you got top pair, top kicker until the flop. I mean, you completely missed. You don't want to do that. So it's time for me to finally notice we're down to 6 players. I have a chance of winning. I've said a couple times that, you know, I'm the chip leader and what other crap like that. I got 3,000 chips, but it hasn't occurred to me till now that I might win this tournament, because that's a bad thing for me to think about. Me going in with an attitude of winning probably means I'm getting my ass handed to me. I don't like to think like that. Clavia's taking a lot of time to act. He might be multi-tabling, or more likely it's cheap poker. He's slow playing so that the blinds get up, so that the shorter stacks get in blind trouble. That's a cheap tactic. If you play poker like that, I'd say you're a cheap player. Of course, on one hand, it is fair. You're supposed to use any advantage you have to the maximum of your advantage. That's what a good player would do. You notice I didn't dick around and try to win a medium pot? What was I just saying before that? I hadn't thought about winning the tournament yet. Yeah, I think I ended that conversation. Oh well. A sharp psychologist would notice that I've become, by the tone of my voice, that I've become very self-confident and very arrogant now. And that is exactly why I can't. I don't want to go into poker tournaments with a winning attitude. I do get overconfident. Excuse me. Every time they sit out, I check their chips, which I can't see his because the mouse over was behind my stat overlay. Yeah, so what I would have done is I would have shut off the stats. Oh, which did reset, so I might as well shut them off. Although then again, it's giving me late tourney stats because they're going to be playing differently now than they would have originally. But stupid stats. I decided that I would play safest if I shut the stats off, so that's what I'll do. One thing I want to keep in mind, or at least want to say, is that's why I consider myself a poker professional. If you can think of something that a professional person would do, do it. Like when I said I had background light. You know, am I going to bother going to shut it off? It's like, yeah, I'm going to go shut that off. Or else I'm acting like an amateur. I'm not acting like a professional. And I determined this stats might hamper my playing ability, so I shut the stats off. You know, it doesn't matter if it's only a 2% chance that it would affect me. I try to keep in mind that I'm a professional, so I'm going to go the extra step, no matter how much of an inconvenience I think it might be. So, tournament theory. There is nothing that can be done to stop the smallest stacks from getting in blind trouble first. Once they're in blind trouble, they're going to have to play hands. Now, professionally, it could be right. See, only looking at this one tournament, it's completely right for a tall stack or a huge stack to not play any hands until they got aces or kings or whatever else is arguable. But until they fold every hand until you have aces. But professionally, in the big picture, there's something to be accounted for, is time. It might be worth my time to end this as quickly as possible, which means get in there, call some hands, try to hit a big flop and eliminate somebody. So I don't speak ill against large chip stacks that are in there playing. How about that? Don't know for the record, but multi-handed. An ace-3 is completely superior to an ace-6 because you can hit a straight like that. You can hit a straight with both your cards. If we were heads up, I'd be playing this because I got a pair, you know, but and I mean if the tournament was heads up. And despite that guy was, see, that guy was all in, so the only ones left to put money in were me and Pawn Shark. But about what I said pertaining to heads up before the flop. I mean, only 2 people left in the tournament. Oh, yeah. Fetch. And what I said there doesn't even apply to how I play heads up, so there's still some truth there, I just can't find it. I can't find it with my speech. This is curious for me. I would like to show that I have queens, but I don't know how. I gotta keep it small. Now I might be able to raise. Oh, I can't even chat. They disable the chat, I think, when there's 7 players remaining. It's an anti-collusion technique. I don't think it works with a... I'm going to shut up now. I hope you learned something from me, but I don't know what. Any questions? No. Well, yes, I still have to go to the bathroom.